Hello friends and anyone else who's wandered in.
Hello.
So filming this on New Year's Eve, 31st of December. Still technically in the Christmas season, so it seems like a good time to talk about gifts.
Yeah.
Because we've been blessed with gifts of various kinds from each other, largely, and also from others. So do you want to start off showing us some of your swag?
Yeah, well, because I pretty much only read books on Kindle, which makes them very difficult to give as presents to me. I haven't really got any books, but I am going to show you what I've got. And I'm going to start with this, which contains something about which I read a poem earlier in the year. And it is a little, what they call a frozen Charlotte doll.
Right.
So show it to the ladies and gentlemen. This is actually not a completely frozen Charlotte because her arms swing. I think it might be what they used to call a Cupid doll. But it's a similar kind of thing. Very cheap, very cheaply made. Unglazed pottery. This one's got silver hair, which is rather lovely. And then this one's got these free swinging limbs. And as a nod to the northern mudlarks, who were the reason I got interested in these, if you want to go back to the poem called A Corpse Going to a Ball.
It is, yeah, I'll stick a link up.
It all gets explained in there. She came on a bed of wooden pebbles to mimic the finding of a doll on a pebbly beach.
Which is the sort of thing
Which is the sort of thing mudlarks find.
Fossicking for such things, yeah. Apparently they're something you can find quite a lot of because they were
massive, mass-produced.
Also, probably not exactly that kind, but also similar ones would be in puddings, Christmas puddings.
Icky tiny ones like that, not icky, little tiny ones for you to break your teeth on.
Good. Well, I did get books, and also I've had a birthday as well as a Christmas. So I'll mention this Haunted Vintage by Marjorie Bowen, which is one of the Tales of the Weird series from the British Library, and the present isn't just the book, it's a subscription, because these things come out really regularly, so I'm aiming to keep on top of reading them this time round, and so looking forward to that.
So the subscription is for 6 months, 6 books, and if anybody wants to have a subscription or give someone else a subscription, go to the British Library website and you will find out how to. Yeah. And it's lovely. Very lovely.
So that was something I sort of knew. This is another book that's a real surprise to me. Flowers from the Void by Jennie Washington. Now, I've got a feeling probably some of my fellow booktubers would know the author, perhaps this book. But it looks fantastic. It's short stories. It's a terrific gothic delight. It's warped imagination, just the tonic needed. So that's another one I'm looking forward to.
So that one I found through a mailing list email that came to me from a publisher I don't ever remember subscribing to. This was my big present, and it is actually quite big. Because this did it actually come from an Egyptian supplier?
Yeah. I was convinced it wouldn't turn up because I got all these weird emails and it was opened in customs and stuff like that.
You have little faith. So this is the goddess Seshat, or Sesat, or Seshet, or Seset. And she's not a very well-known divinity in the Egyptian pantheon. She is either the daughter of Thoth, or the wife of Thoth, or both. I think it's Thoth. And Thoth invented writing, and Seshat invented the keeping of writing in organised collections. Thus, she was known as the mistress of the House of Books, which makes her my matron deity as a ex-librarian, former librarian. And I played my part in being the mistress of the House of Books. And this is she, Seshat. She's great. She's got this very recognisable 7-pronged crown. On some depictions, these wibbly bits here actually have snakes' heads on them. And she gets a mention in one of my poems, DDC 291.93, I think. You put a link to that, which is about working in libraries.
Yeah,
that's a classification number for Divine Dance.
Good.
So that was she. I was very pleased with that. Very pleased.
So there was an E. Nesbit story dramatised on British TV on Christmas Eve.
There was. It was good.
Really interesting writer. Did a lot of supernatural stuff. Also some children's classics like The Railway Children and 5 Children and It. That serves, isn't it?
Yeah. Phoenix and the Carpet.
Yeah. So here's a really nice anthology of hers called The Literary Sense, which I believe is more of her general fiction, but I've already read one. Really good.
Like it?
Yeah, I love it.
Good,
Yeah. E. Nesbit.
She also co-founded the Fabian
Oh,
Society,
yes.
which was a kind of utopian socialist society, and still exists, I believe. In the she and her husband were partly responsible for the Fabian.
Yeah, her husband doesn't get a very good write-up in that dramatisation.
Not in the dramatisation, no. Which I think is largely true.
Yeah. Well, we weren't there. But,
no.
So another writer from the oldie days, Margaret Oliphant, also supernatural among other things. I think lots of those sort of Victorian, Edwardian, early 20th century writers would write multi-genre really as a way of, as a way of placing lots of stories. So this is also British Library, as well as Tales of the Weird. They do these Fancy Dan editions. And I saw this when I went to York on the trip to York.
Oh, did you?
But,
is that why it was on your wish list?
Yeah, so I couldn't buy it at the time because a fellow York visitor had already bought it and they only had one in the shop. Well, no.
Hurrah!
Wouldn't say boo exactly, but I did sort of note that I would want one. So, yeah, Margaret Oliphant's Superbly Strange Tales, Victorian Ghost Stories. And while I'm on, because this was also in the same series, it's a collection of Algernon Blackwood stories, where the sort of organising principle, as per the mistress of the books, is career in a lifetime of the supernatural. So it's a lot of Algernon Blackwood stories put together by Mike Ashley sort of throughout his career. So 2 books, nice to look at, but looking forward to reading them as well.
Delicious hot, disgusting cold.
Back to you.
Back to me. Well, talking of writing poetry, which I haven't done a lot of recently, it's not been a great year for me, I have to say. But when I do write, in terms of health, everything else is fine. It's just my health's rubbish. But when I do write...
And the world.
And the world, yeah.
But apart from those 2 things.
Yeah. The world, no. I've finally reached a stage where I just cannot read the news or know anything about it at all because it plunges me into despair. So we'll turn to the subject of pencils. I discovered Blackwing pencils. It's about 4 Christmases ago, 4 or 5. You bought me one.
Oh yeah, they
pencil.
had it in the Tate.
They had it in the Tate Liverpool
gift shop. Yeah,
Tate Liverpool gift shop.
Ah, fancy pencil. Hooray.
And it just they are so smooth. The lead is gorgeous. The casing is made from what do they call it? Incense cedar. So the pencil sharpenings smell fabulous. And they do three weights of lead. They do a one that's a bit like a 2B, a one that's a bit like an HB, and a one that's a bit like a 1H, I think. I like the 602 as a writing pencil because it's on the barrel. It's got half the pressure, twice the speed. And it is so smooth.
Words to live by.
So, absolutely. So, right. Oh. And I bought a Blackwing pencil sharpener, which was like ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
But anyway, they also do, throughout the year, they do collections, volumes, they call them.
Ah.
Volumes.
Okay.
And this is... volume, I can't read that.
71.
Volume 71. And it's dedicated to Frank Lloyd Wright.
Oh, the architect.
Frank Lloyd Wright looked a terrible sight on account of how his most treasured creation, Falling Water, I can't remember it. It was a Clary Hugh wrote about Frank Lloyd Wright. I've forgotten the words.
Okay.
So you can cut that bit out. So dedicated to Frank Lloyd Wright. Frank Lloyd Wright. Box of 12 pencils. 12 pencils.
Different coloured rubbers.
Different coloured rubbers. So they have
What a great
nice
gift.
barrel.
I can put it near.
And then these lovely square rubbers in a ferrule at the end that comes out. So you can take the rubber out when it's all worn down a bit and put a little bit of paper underneath it and push it up. And it makes them they're just lovely. And these ones, the kind of mainstream ones, have got a gold coloured ferrule, but these ones have got a copper or bronze coloured ferrule.
Ooh.
And they come in, there's 4 different designs of the barrel, 4 different designs on the barrel, and 4 different colours of rubber.
Yeah. Wow.
And you can, if you
But
run,
do
if
you
you
feel they're too good to use, or do you just charge in and use them? 'Cause life's too short not to use the nice things.
well,
Do you want the one I stole?
I'm not giving you any of these, I'm afraid.
Don't break the setup.
No, I'm probably not going to peel these, sharpen these, ever, unless I have to. So I've got a lot, so it's going to take a while for me to shave these, peel them.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I can just
Yeah, just enjoy them.
nurture them as my little darlings. But it's like all art materials. The better quality you use, the better the stuff you'll produce as a result of it. Cheap art and writing materials, in my opinion, are a waste of money and will make you think that you are worse than you are at art and writing and things.
Yeah. Plus, you might as well enjoy the process of laying the marks down.
Yeah, and it's just, I never believed a pencil could make so much difference. It was an absolute revelation to me, the Blackwing.
So, as well as presents from Jennie, I've had presents from a man with a big white beard.
Santa.
I mean, of course, Dave Proseski. Who, now, I don't know if you can see this. I don't want to dismantle the Christmas grotto. So basically, I pile books up here during the year, and then Jennie decorates over the top of it.
I
and
do.
It looks very nice.
Christmas Mountain.
This A Century of Creepy Stories is a fantastic old anthology it was around our house when I was a kid, and Dave said he had a spare one, so really grateful to receive that. And I actually met Dave when I went down to the Fantasy Con in Chester. Bought various books, so this isn't a gift unless you count a gift to myself, but collection of stories by a guy called Daryl Schweitzer. So he's an author I've always liked, read odd bits of, and I've always felt was a little bit underrated and seems to be, not spoken of in the first rank of fantastic writers. But so great to see him being collected. So I was talking with Dave about Darrell Schweitzer, and he mentioned other writers, including this James William Hjort, and whose book Ebon Rose's Jewelled Skulls came out in, I'm guessing, the 70s by the look of it. So this amazing oversized collection of stories and art by an author I didn't know, who seems very similar to Clark Ashton Smith, kind of very sort of bejewelled, decadent kind of prose. And he also sent me a couple of other things of a similar sort of production. Books by William Scott Home, stories, George T. Wetzel, and again, I don't know these guys at all, so it's really interesting, and yes, very grateful for these bits of giftage. So yes, that was some sideways input.
I'll get through my sideways. Get through it. Sounds like it's a huge chore, doesn't it? I also have sideways input. So our lovely friend Zan, long time reader and watcher and commenter, sent us these for Christmas. So this is aimed towards our humbug, Mr. Scrooge, Roy.
Oh yeah, complete.
So he could complete
outfit.
his outfit of
With a
Scrooginess. It's really great.
But it's a nice one.
Great
It's not like a
candlestick. No, it's not a
fancy dress
shonky
one,
one
is
at
it? It's
all.
a nice,
yeah.
nice piece
It's
of brass. Yeah.
And then for me, the Faber Book of Northern Folk Tales, edited by Kevin Crossley Holland, which is just lovely. And I don't know how she knew I'm going through a very folktale period at the moment.
You've only got to look at you.
I suppose the mask's a bit of a giveaway. But and the Egyptian statues and but yeah, this is just, it's lovely. It was I haven't got my reading glasses on. Tell me when it was published. 70s.
1980.
1980.
Yeah, Faber. That's a nice old book. That,
And
isn't
it's folk tales from Northern
it?
Europe.
A bunch of places in Northern Europe.
And it's got this fabulous design on the cover. It's just lovely.
Yeah, they don't make them like that anymore.
Thank you, Zanny. I will get round to getting in touch and thanking you properly.
So another thing that isn't a book is from Jennie some videos.
Yay, good for
TV
me.
series called The Pallisers. So this was Anthony Trollope wrote a series of 6 novels, the Pallisers series. I guess these are Victorian as well, which I've actually got. I've ironically got TV tie-in editions because I'm planning to read it at some stage. So here's one of them with a beautifully faded picture from the TV series where the people have turned bilious shade of green. Also, I mean, it was quite a big deal at the time, the series. So remember, 6 books. There was also a 1-volume abridgment by Michael Hardwick doing the abridging chores. That was a big seller as well. So I've got multiple. We're a 3 Pallisers household.
Excellent. Because we've been listening to Barchester Chronicles by Trollope as an audio book read by Timothy West.
Yes,
Timothy West,
yes.
who's just died.
R.I.P. Yeah.
Poor man. And he's reading. They're free.
Really good reader.
They're free, and he's absolutely excellent reader. And Trollope goes on a bit. He gets on a hobby horse from time to time and rides it till it falls down exhausted. But they're great. They're absolutely great. If you fancy some free Trollope in your ear holes, them's the best.
Very good.
And while we're talking about the best, It's you, my beautiful husband. You are the
I
best.
thought you meant crows.
I got a set of tarot cards. The Crow Tarot. So I've been using tarot cards for a long time. I don't believe they have any divinatory power, that they have the power to tell you the future. I believe they're sets of symbols that tell you things you already know. So the cards can't tell you anything you don't already know, but they can help by their symbolicness. They can help bring things to mind that you might need to think about or want to think about. So in a way, when you're drawing tarot cards, it really doesn't matter which you draw. That's totally unimportant, in my opinion. It's what you tease out from what the cards look like and their descriptions. So yeah, I do tarot readings for myself quite a lot, and I find them very useful for problem solving. And the Crow Tarot, I've probably got about 9 sets of cards, tarot cards and oracle cards, and I like this one because it's quite gritty and urban and very different from, it's good colours, very different from the one you bought me before this, which was the Cosy Witch Tarot, which is lovely.
Also from that fabled York trip.
Yeah, and that's kind of, it's a bit mangery in the illustration style, certainly comicsy.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful too, but to have something contrasting like the Crow. The Crow Tarot. So there you go.
Yeah, well, I got a tarot set for my birthday.
You did?
The Pulp Tarot. So similarly, takes the same structured set of images, and in this case, it's using
That's fabulous.
montages, I guess, of artwork from pulp magazines, sort of 20s, 30s, 40s, with some additions to make them work, mostly as all of the cards. So
I think that one is probably one of the nicest fall cards I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's just really lovely.
Is good.
I've shuffled my deck, so I can't show you the full.
Just have to imagine
the fool.
A crow-like fool.
Walking off a cliff with a little puppy behind.
Good. Where's the jeopardy if it's a crow?
You and your jeopard. I've come to the end of mine now, so can I do the last 2 together?
Yeah.
I'm going to do the last 2
pretty
together.
much am as well.
So, something else I've been doing is making scented oils for various purposes that aren't to do with rubbing them on my skin, because I'm allergic to most things. And Roy bought me, can you hold that one? And I will do that thing that you do of offering them to the camera. So he bought me these 3 lovely bottles. So they're recycled bottles with a zinc alloy, silvery fittings on the lid and and I've already filled this one with the winter blended oil that I made just before Christmas, which is very spicy and yummy. And this one, which I made back in October, which is kind of a citrusy oil. And they're to go in oil diffuser, burnery things to make things smell nice. And then that one has got the residue of what I soaked in oil to make this one, and it just seemed a shame to throw it away because it smells fab. Smell.
Good. I did. I smelt it. I just smelt it. Very nice.
And then, last but not least, this. It's a pencil case, but it's not any pencil case. This is a Marks and Spencer. No, it's not. This is a nifty little pencil case that folds in half, connects with a magnet,
All that action.
Stands on your desk with your stuff in.
I actually saw that on MJ.
Oh, really?
Channel. Yeah, that's where I got the idea. But I thought, they look awesome.
It was great. Just looking to see if I've got a
black wing in there.
Got a black wing in here. But I haven't got a black wing in here.
It's not black wing worthy.
Well, this is the stuff that I take to my art classes when I need to kind of grid up a thing and lightly sketch and stuff like that. And you don't want to waste your best pencils on that. Because before you know
You
it...
just said you should do
I know.
exactly that.
I know. I am a mass of contradictions. I contain multitudes.
Multitudes of pencils and stationery items.
Absolutely. What's the world without pencils and staples and whatever it was you just said? And I've got a little box of coloured pencils in there that I bought ages ago. Anyway, so that's me.
Nice.
All
Okay,
presented
finally,
out.
I think, is the sort of ultimate edition of Voyage to Arcturus novel by David Lindsay. Very strange, mystical fantasy novel. So this hasn't been fully unwrapped yet, so some of this stuff is still on its on the cellophane. That's a hole with the inside being visible. It's been beautifully printed using spot colours with artwork by Illuminated Edition, artwork by Jim Woodring, introduction by Alan Moore.
I know who he is.
So it's just a beautiful thing. Don't obsessively get books for their sort of look and feel, but sometimes it's nice to have some very beautiful objects.
Shall I tell you why I bought it?
This is one. Why?
I bought it because I wanted to see what it looked like inside. Because the outside was so beautiful.
Yeah, I love the fact that it's semi-abstract
me,
illustrations as well.
It's fabulous.
So,
Mind you don't crease that.
very grateful for that. And, no, that was in there. So
Frameable print, I think.
Voyage to Arcturus. Right, so that's some gift hall stuff.
Yeah.
So if we'd done this earlier, I was going to call it Deck the Halls. But I would imagine people are in a sort of post-Christmas period now.
They'll be
it goes on till 12th night.
Alone. Christmas finished on Boxing.
So we're very blessed to have presents.
We are,
we have a quiet festive season with just the two of us, which is fine by us. So we'll see you in the new year.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy New Year, everybody. Take care.
Bye.